What's up, Russellscope family? And listen, before you leave, before you jump to another video, I need you to stop right now, because what I'm about to share with you is going to shock you and transform everything you believed about the road to WrestleMania 42. We've got leaks, we've got backstage drama, we've got Triple H completely furious, and we've got Drew McIntyre sitting right in the middle of the biggest controversy to shake WWE since the last time Triple H went crazy backstage. But here's the thing that's going to make you angry. And I mean truly frustrated with what's going on in WWE right now. Someone, somewhere in that company just couldn't stay quiet. And now the entire Royal Rumble 2026 outcome has been ruined. I'm talking about spoilers so huge that they've sent shockwaves through Stamford, Connecticut. I'm talking about championship changes that weren't meant to be revealed until February. And I'm talking about Triple H having a complete meltdown behind closed doors. Hello viewers, if you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. The leak that shook everything. Let me show you what happened in the last 48 hours that has turned WWE's carefully planned ideas into complete chaos. According to multiple sources, and we are talking about trustworthy insiders here, not some random person on Reddit, the winner of the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble match has been revealed, and it's sent Triple H into what can only be called a Category 5 rage fest. Now, I know what you're thinking. Leaks happen all the time in wrestling. What's the big deal? But this is different. This isn't just some unclear rumor or guessing. We're talking about specific information about booking plans, championship changes, and story directions that weren't supposed to be known until after the Royal Rumble event. Here's where it gets interesting, and where you're probably going to want to throw something at your screen. The leak clearly came from within WWE's own creative team. That's right. Someone who's supposed to be guarding these plans like their nuclear launch codes just decided to reveal everything. And the name right in the middle of it all, the man who's clearly been chosen to win the whole thing, Drew McIntyre. But wait, it gets even more complicated because this isn't just about Drew winning the Rumble. Oh, no. This leak has revealed an entire storyline that includes a championship change on SmackDown that's supposed to happen before the Royal Rumble, setting up what WWE was planning to be the most shocking road to WrestleMania in years. Can you imagine being Triple H right now? You've spent months planning this out. You've got your WrestleMania main event figured out. You've got surprises ready. You've got a storyline that's supposed to make the fans lose their minds. And then boom, some loud-mouthed individual decides to leak it all online for clicks and attention. And here's what should make every wrestling fan angry. When these things leak, it doesn't just ruin the surprise. It forces WWE to possibly change their plans. That means the storyline we were supposed to get, the one that creative spent countless hours perfecting, might now be thrown away because someone couldn't keep their mouth shut. Think about that for a second. We, the fans, might be getting a worse product because of this leak. We might be getting Plan B or Plan C instead of the original vision that could have been amazing. Now let's talk about Triple H's reaction, because according to people who were actually in the building during Friday's SmackDown taping, the game was completely furious. Sources described an emergency meeting that was called right after the leak went public. We're talking about Triple H gathering the entire creative team, key producers, and upper management in a closed-door session that clearly got heated. One insider described it as the angriest I have ever seen him in the 15 years I've worked for this company. Another source said that Triple H made it very clear that whoever was responsible for this leak would be found and would face serious consequences. And knowing Triple H's history, that's not an empty threat. But here's what really tells you how serious this is. WWE's legal team has gotten involved. We're talking about possible lawsuits, contract violation investigations, and a complete internal investigation to find the source of the leak. Think about the pressure Triple H is under right now. He took over creative control of WWE from Vince McMahon with a promise to deliver steady, quality storytelling. He's been praised for his booking decisions. He's rebuilt trust with the fan base. And now, at one of the most important times of the year, Royal Rumble season, the beginning of the road to WrestleMania, his plans are being revealed before they can even unfold on television. And you know what the most frustrating part is? Triple H is known for being tight-lipped about plans. He's known for keeping things private. He's known for surprises and twists that truly shock the audience. But how can he do that when people within his own organization are working against him? According to reports, Triple H specifically addressed this in the meeting, saying something along the lines of, "We can't compete with leaks. We can't surprise our audience if our own people are working against us. This stops now." But here's the million-dollar question that nobody seems to be asking. Why would someone leak this information? What do they gain from it? Is it someone trying to hurt Triple H's creative direction? Is it someone who disagreed with the booking decisions? Or is it simply someone looking to make a quick buck by selling information to wrestling news sites? Now let's talk about the man himself, Drew McIntyre, and why his involvement in this leaked storyline makes things even more complicated. Drew has been on an absolute roll since returning from injury. He's been cutting some of the best promos of his career. He's been putting on clinic after clinic in the ring. And according to these leaks, WWE was building towards something truly special with the Scottish Warrior. Here's where the supposed championship change comes into play. And this is where fans should be furious at the leak because it ruins what could have been an amazing moment. According to the information that's been circulating, SmackDown is supposed to feature a championship change in the coming weeks that would directly tie into Drew McIntyre's Royal Rumble victory. The leaked plans suggest that, and I'm being somewhat unclear here because I don't want to help spoil everything, a major championship was supposed to change hands in a way that would set up Drew's Rumble win to have huge meaning for WrestleMania 42. Think about the storytelling possibilities here. Think about the shock value. Think about the water cooler moments that WWE could have created. And now it's all out there in the open, and the impact is completely reduced. Drew McIntyre himself has been very vocal on social media lately about respect, about earning your spot, and about the right way to do things in this business. While he hasn't directly addressed these leaks, and he probably can't address them due to company policy, you have to wonder how he feels about this. Imagine being Drew. You're told you're winning the Royal Rumble, one of the biggest honors in professional wrestling. You're told you're possibly headlining WrestleMania. You're finally getting the push and the storyline that you've worked your entire career to achieve. And then someone leaks it, possibly robbing you of that genuine pop from the audience when your music hits at number 30 or when your hand is raised in victory. That's not just unprofessional, it's disrespectful to the performer. And here's another angle that makes this whole situation even more infuriating. Drew has been one of the most reliable, professional, and dedicated performers on the entire roster. He shows up, does the work, doesn't complain, and always delivers. He deserves to have his moments protected. He deserves to have his big wins feel special. But beyond Drew himself, let's talk about what this means for the SmackDown Championship picture. If these leaks are accurate, we're looking at a possible shift in the championship landscape that would have huge effects for multiple superstars. Who's currently holding the title that's supposed to change hands? How does this affect their WrestleMania plans? What about the other contenders who've been building their own storylines? Are their plans now compromised too? This is the domino effect of leaks, people. It's not just one storyline that gets affected. It's everything. The entire house of cards that creative has carefully built can come tumbling down because of one person's inability to keep private information private. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about what this means for WWE as a whole, because the effects here go way beyond just one Royal Rumble match or one championship change. First of all, this leak represents a massive security breach for WWE. In an era where spoilers can spread across social media in seconds, where every dirt sheet and wrestling news site is competing for clicks, WWE has been fighting an uphill battle to keep surprises actually surprising. Think about some of the best moments in recent WWE history. Cody Rhodes returning at WrestleMania 38, Sami Zayn joining the Bloodline storyline, the formations and breakups of various factions. These moments worked because they weren't spoiled beforehand. The audience got to experience genuine shock and excitement. But when leaks like this happen, it creates a culture where fans expect to be spoiled. It creates a culture where people would rather read about what's going to happen than actually watch it unfold naturally on television, and that is terrible for the business. Secondly, these leaks put talent in a really awkward position. Imagine being a WWE superstar and having fans come up to you asking about plans that haven't been officially announced. Do you confirm? Do you deny? Do you say no comment and basically confirm it anyway? It's a no-win situation. Third, and this is perhaps the most important point, these leaks can actually damage WWE's relationship with their broadcast partners and sponsors. Networks like USA Network and Fox pay billions of dollars for exclusive WWE content. They pay for the right to air these shows first, to give their viewers exclusive programming. When major storylines and results leak before they air, it reduces the value of that content. Imagine being a USA Network executive and reading about the Royal Rumble winner online before your network even gets to broadcast it. You'd be furious. You'd be questioning whether the investment is worth it if WWE can't protect their own property. And let's talk about the locker room morale for a second. When something like this happens, it creates an atmosphere of suspicion and distrust. Suddenly, people are looking at their colleagues wondering, was it you? Did you leak this? It creates division and paranoia in what should be a team-based creative environment. Multiple sources have indicated that there's already been tension backstage as WWE tries to identify the leaker. People are being questioned. Phone records are possibly being checked. It's creating a toxic atmosphere at what should be one of the most exciting times of the year. Now, I want to talk directly to you, the viewers watching this video, because your role in all of this is more important than you might think. Here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to talk about. These leaks only happen because there's an audience for them. If fans didn't click on spoiler articles, if fans didn't share leaked information, if fans didn't reward this behavior with engagement and attention, there would be no reason for anyone to leak anything. I know. I can already hear some of you saying, but I want to know what's going to happen. And look, I get it. Wrestling fans are passionate and we're curious about the behind-the-scenes stuff. That's natural. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. Do you really want to know? Do you really want every spoiler spoiled? Do you really want to trade those genuine mark-out moments for the satisfaction of knowing something before it happens? Think back to the best wrestling moments you've ever experienced. Think about the times you jumped out of your seat. Think about the times you couldn't believe what you were seeing. Would those moments have been as special if you'd read about them on Twitter 3 weeks earlier?
I'm going to make a controversial statement here, and some of you are going to disagree with me, but I believe it needs to be said. By consuming and sharing leaked information, fans are actively making their own experience worse. You're training yourself to not be surprised anymore. You're training yourself to analyze and predict instead of just enjoy. You're turning pro wrestling from an entertainment experience into a puzzle to be solved. And beyond the personal experience, you're contributing to a culture that's literally forcing WWE to change their creative plans. Every time a major leak happens and gains traction, it puts pressure on creative to change course. That means we're getting less of what creative actually wanted to present and more reactive last-minute booking. Is that really what we want as fans? Do we want to force WWE into making inferior creative decisions just because we couldn't resist clicking on a spoiler article? Now, I'm not saying we should be blind loyalists who never question WWE's decisions. Criticism is important. Fan feedback is important, but there's a difference between critiquing something after we've seen it and judging it based on leaked, out-of-context information. Here's my challenge to the WrestleScope family. For the next few weeks leading up to the Royal Rumble, try to avoid spoilers. Try to go into that event without knowing what's going to happen. Let yourself be surprised